welcome to this tutorial of the Reaper Bones Cassandra of the Blade, which I'm going to be using for my D&D escapades. Anyway, I've already primed the model. We start off with some Bugman's Glow. This is for the skin. Now I must apologise for this tutorial being all over the place, different camera angles and so on. I was kind of moving stuff around during the process of trying to get this tutorial filmed, and yeah, it wasn't very helpful, but I desperately wanted to finish the tutorial and try to get it out there for you. Anyway, so I started off with the Bugman's Glow, as you can see there on the skin. There wasn't a lot of skin. Dryad bark is what I used next. Now don't worry about this camera angle, as I say, it will be changing later on. So just painting like the tunic here, and yeah, gonna get that done. I did start off obviously with the model already on the base. It's just like a wooden MDF base, which I glued onto that. And ordinarily I don't cover bases when I'm doing a tutorial for the model, because I kind of chop and change how I do them anyway. Like, it's not like it's for an army or anything, it's just a single model. So yeah, so I did that, and there we go. Gunmetal was the colour I used next. I think I must have been out of lead belcher, but you can use lead belcher if you so wish. I just used that for the two swords she's got. I do have a notion to have, what I want is like an order of female knights, almost, if you will, or fighters, not assassins. I don't want them to be a kind of cold-blooded. I want them to be quite good characters. Avalon Sunset next, which will be used for her hair. Yeah, I want them to be quite good characters, and I want to have a lot of them. There's a lot of these female types, particularly by the Reaper Bones model line, so perfect for that. And we'll be seeing all this at a better angle shortly. So I'm learning all the time. I've kind of got an idea in my head of how I want future tutorials to go, and yeah, I'm learning a lot from other people in the trade, as it were. I'm learning from the best as I see, but all I can do is try and my best to emulate them. I fail at doing it full justice, but hey, it's a hobby, right? And it's primarily for my own use anyway, so I know how I painted a certain model if I should want to do another one in the future. Black red excuse me, is next. For the inside of the cloak, I just wanted I like cloaks to have kind of a two-tone colour scheme when they're on models. And I figure at this stage of the game it didn't matter too much about camera angles anyway. I just wanted to get the base colours down on all the main areas of the model. So like I say, this tutorial was all over the place, not just in terms of camera angles, but in terms of footage speed and how I do that. And I'm actually, although the clips are speeded up, they're it's kind of everything I did. Hardly anything cut out, but there you go. You can see that there. Warg flesh, another great base color green for the outside of the cloak, and I feel better once I get all the base colors done. I always feel better when I do that on a model, and I'm at an exciting stage now for my next tutorial, because one, hopefully it's going to be all uniform from here on in, and also I have an idea of how I want the future ones to go. Well, I'm going to have a go at so the next tutorial may be a bit of an experimentation, with this. I did decide that I don't like this camera angle for the tutorials anyway, and it's too far zoomed out. I know this, but it's it is what it is, basically. And yeah, I just wanted to get this one out there, get it done. There's nothing I hate more than half-done projects. So this nice to get that done there. Right, Kassandra yellow. It's a shade, Citadel shade wash, and that is obviously for her hair. It's a yellow shade wash. It's bordering on orange, I suppose. I suppose you could use it for golds as well if you so wished, which I have done in the past. And it gives a rather nice effect. So coming up to halfway through the tutorial now, and yeah, so Talon Sand is next. Talon Sand, I said, oh, it's a nice. It is literally a nice sandy colour, and I'm painting the trousers or the pants, as you say in America. Oh no, it's the boots. Sorry, the boots. Yes, the boots. I wanted. That's right. Now you must forgive me because this was done in, like I said, it's shot in several parts, and it was done a long time ago, and so I've got to remember what it was I was doing and when. Yeah, so it kind of like, I don't know, like an animal skin boots, but I wanted them to be muddy, like dirty, like travel well worn, the adventure type. Um, going to be like well averse, a bit of a veteran in terms of adventuring. So that's the image I wanted to portray for that one. Although speeded up there, as you see, it took me a little while. And you can see the base. I've put some stuff onto the base just to cover it. Right, Null Oil. So that was for the base, which I'd done with Astro Granite, I believe, which is kind of my go-to for this type of model. And of course, then I was doing the metal of the swords as well. All right, Incubi Darkness. Incubi Darkness. That's next. Now that I believe was for the trousers or the pants. Yes, it was. So Incubi Darkness, quite a nice deep blue, um, very dark blue. It's kind of what I wanted. Um, most of these Reaper Bones models will either be for Dungeons and Dragons or Call of Cthulhu. This one is an obvious D&D figure. Midland Flesh by P3 is in the place of Cadian Fleshtone, which you could use instead. I just happened to use Midland Flesh, so does pretty much the same job. And it's surprising how little skin there are on these models when you do them. It's just either like just the face or the hands or whatever. Okay, Biltan Green is next. I'm just putting that as a shade wash onto the back of her cloak to give it a bit of depth and shadow into the folds, which works quite well. I wanted to keep it green as opposed to black. I just felt it blended in better. Flush gets yellow. Now I wanted to just do like a quick dry brush to give her yellow hair some brighter highlights, because I want it to be an obvious yellow, and that's what I wanted to do. So Flash gets yellow was my obvious choice for that one. Talon Sand. Now here I was just doing like folds in the tunic, not so much as highlights, but again just to give it a bit more depth, make it a little more 3D as opposed to like I don't know, it had a very flat kind of aesthetic to it before, which is something I just wanted to bring up. And it's not, I'm not trying to. Obviously, I'm not trying to win any painting competitions here or anything. I just, when you're playing a role-playing game, sometimes when it's like, it's not your go or whatever, you pick up your model and look at it, and it's just nice to see a bit more depth to a model. It pulls you back into the imagination of the game. At least that's how I view it, anyway. But there we go, like that, just like that. He says, and Agrax Earthshade is next. And that was going on the inside of the cloak and over the face, just to dirty her face up a little and give her like recesses around her face, particularly eye sockets, some shadow. I wanted that to have a little bit of shadow created by the fringe of her hair. So, like I say, I do apologise for the randomness of the camera angles on this tutorial, but I've got more of an idea of where I want it to go in the future. I'll try and get some better lighting as well. And there you go. That's the finished product with a bit of highlighting and grass on the base. That's it. That's Kassandra of the Blade. No, Kassandra of the Blade, I think she's called, with a K. Kassandra of the Blade. That's it. And yeah, she's part of my female entourage of duelists, which are going to be used for an up and coming Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition campaign. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to check out my Patreon account if you have a mind. Remember, all brushes lead to war, and I will see you on the next video. Bye for now, folks.